for giving me this excellent opportunity to share my thoughts and views with many of the bright faces and senior journalists here. I come from Tamil Nadu, the southern part of India, and I head one of the oldest news channels of the country that's called Sun News. I'm its editor-in-chief. When I was invited, Mr. Avinash told that most of the participants in this event will be from North India. They may not have great idea on Tamil Nadu and Tamil media. They will be interested to know what's going on in Tamil Nadu and Tamil media space. So I wish to give you a brief introduction and some insights. Tamil TV, the topic they have given is Tamil TV theatre. Actually, Tamil medium, Tamil news channels, that market is now crowded. Now, more than a dozen news channels are working in Tamil Nadu. Almost every political party, whether it is a ruling party or the opposition or smaller outfits, they own 24/7 news channel. Besides that, every big cable TV network that is based in Tamil Nadu, they also have a 24/7 news channel. I share a lot of the concerns expressed by Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai. Besides these cable TV operators, cable TV distributors, and political parties, if you take DMK, they have Kalaignar TV, Kalaignar News. If you take AADMK, when Jayalalitha was there, they have a bouquet of channels. They have GEC and news channel. It's called Jaya Plus. After the demise of Madam Jayalalitha and with the party now is split, the former Chief Minister Edappadi Palanichami, they have also started a news channel that's called News J. There are two news channels. One is Sasikala's Jaya Plus and another one is Edappadi Palanichami and Co's News J. And besides that, you may find news channels run by Dalit Panthers of India, the VCK, a Dalit outfit largely. They have representation in Parliament and Assembly, and they too have a television channel called Velicham TV. It's called, loose translation say that it's a light. And PMK, DMDK, they also have their own channels. And BJP too has its own channel called Lotus TV. Though their presence is negligible, it's diverse. And unlike North India, unlike the so-called national channels, Tamil TV debates are still relevant, though standards are falling in, but not at the level of Delhi-based channels. It's not about Hindu-Muslim religious bigotry or religious lines that dominate in Tamil Nadu. Because the politics is between DMK and ADMK, the major stakeholders of Tamil land, the Dravidian political parties. So their narrative, their agenda is not on religious polarization. So the news that dominates in Tamil news sphere is of language. Whenever Hindi is imposed, Tamil political parties and Tamil people, we oppose. and it's largely about state autonomy and more rights for the states. Whenever union government tries to take away the rights of the states and tries to impinge on the states' rights, the first opposition comes from regional parties, mainly from Tamil Nadu or from West Bengal or from some other regional parties. So the regional issues, whether it is demonetization or GST, most of the Tamil channels viewed it from the eyes of the common man. The people-centric coverage is still there. Though we have umpteen number of news channels, that the numbers have gone up drastically up, but the content, there is no huge diversity in the content. When, if anything, Rajdeep also saying that about the breaking news. We are in the constant breaking news mode till the elections, assembly election that was over a year ago. The breaking news started from the admission of Ms. Jayalalitha into Apollo hospitals. We have heard breaking news after breaking news for the last 4 years continuously. So the breaking news, in a news sphere, you cannot avoid if anything big happens. But because of the competition, the diversity is missing. If you, when I compare a scenario with newspapers and television, on any day, if you take Hindu and Indian Express and Times of India, that there will be diversity. If Hindu covers, Hindus lead and their op-ed, their front page story and their exclusive story or their detailed cover page article or whatever, there is, every day you find some unique content in newspapers. If Hindu covers some good story, that may be missed in Indian Express, but they will come up with other great stories. So the diversity is there. But when it comes to television, whether it is national or regional language news channels, the diversity is not there. If Prime Minister speaks or any, it has become more a leader-centric approach. If a Prime Minister or any major political leader speaks, everyone takes the line, uninterrupted. If any child fallen into the borewell, that coverage goes for hours and days till the child is rescued, with alive or not. But that's not the case in newspapers. So the diversity is missing. And the discourse on the national channels, mostly you may be watching, nowadays you may find there is no news bulletins, only breaking news and views and opinions and debates. Somebody talks and talks and talks, and no ground reportage, no original stories from TVs are missing. You may not be knowing a earth-shaking investigative story that has shaped or that has shaken the country in the last couple of years, neither in TV nor in newspapers. Really, I'm talking it about in a relative terms. It was not the same case 10 years ago. So the number of television has becoming more and more. The numbers have gone up, but the coverage and diversity and people-centric issues has gone down. That is one of the worrying trend. My young journalist friends, now the coverage, the news coverage is not confined only with the TV or organized mediums. Every individual has become a media now because of the revolution in the information technology field, because of the technology. So with a journalism student, if he has a pursuit to tell truth to the people, even if he is not willing to speak truth to the power, he can, if he act responsibly and with a sense of common good and public good, he can make an impact. This is what I wish to convey. If you want any questions on Tamil Nadu, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, please. Yes. Sadly not. Sadly not. That it was not the case always. When I came to the field 25 years ago, the range of stories, the level of the quality of the discourse, the quality of the coverage, and boldness and vibrance of the media was something different. These days, that vibrancy is missing. That courage is missing.
South India is so much, the politics is so much of, it's much more personal centric than any policy centric. So on one hand, like maybe that could be the reason that there are so many political parties into television, running television channels in southern parts of India. But how do you view it, as a professional with so much of a political agenda on the mind of South India TV channels?
It's a good question. Actually, it's not the case. Do you say that the politics and discourse in Hindi heartland or in Indian English televisions are free from person-centric, personality-centric? Or do you wish to say that it's policy-oriented or ideological-oriented? It is not. Again, even in Delhi, it's personality-centric. And that reflects in the regional level. It is not, we may not contrast. But in the southern states, people have a misconception. Some time ago, when I was attending a seminar in Delhi, a friend asked why Tamil people are searching their chief ministers from cinema field, the Kollywood. That's not the case. That's not true. Superstar Rajinikanth, he quit politics without entering it. He has announced that he will enter into politics, and he had appointed some office bearers, but that party has not been registered in election commission. And prior to the state elections, he quit. He made an announcement he is quitting. He is probably the only star who quit politics without entering it. And his rival and another contemporarian, Mr. Kamal Hassan, he entered politics he faced 2 elections, but he could not make a mark. So people of Tamil Nadu are not searching their leaders from film world. Leaders coming from grassroots, either from the DMK or from the ADMK, they are cadre-based parties. They dominate the political scenery of Tamil Nadu. And whether it is Kerala or Tamil Nadu, they are different. Their political discourse and priorities are different from North and rest of the state, rest of the India. So we are, by and large, though it is, the leaders are projected, but again, they are known for certain causes. You cannot say that they are empty leaders, empty slogans without any ideology. Regional parties also represent very significant political ideologies. Whether, in my opinion, regional parties are strengthening the idea of India and the federal nature of India. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I request Mr. Pankaj Sharma to please hand over the memento to sir.